Hello, I'm going to talk to you today about oil pulling. So oil pulling has become a little more popular than it used to be, and I'm having a lot of people talking to me about what is the hype about oil pulling, why should we do it, when should we do it, who should do it, what kind of oil should we use, and ultimately why should I do it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. It has taken some time, but finally oil pulling has gained some popularity here in the United States. And it's a fantastic oral detoxification process. It's simply done by swishing a tablespoonful of oil in your mouth for about 10 to 20 minutes each day. So how does it work? It works by cleaning the oral cavity, much like soap on dirty dishes does. It removes all those toxins, literally draws all those toxins out of the mouth and the teeth, and that's what you want it to do. So it's a great thing to do. There are many, many benefits of oil pulling. Some of the obvious ones are it helps with decay, tooth decay. It also helps with bleeding gums, something I'm prone to. And that's because oil pulling tends to tighten. It has an astringent action, so it tends to tighten the gums around the teeth, holding on to them. So we don't get receding gums with oil pulling. Your dentist is going to love you. He's definitely going to see a difference as you do more and more oil pulling. There are also other benefits too. It's great if you tend to have a dry mouth, or you tend to have a dry skin or dry lips because of all the oil that you're putting onto it. And one of the things that I like most about oil pulling is it's not just about oral cavity. There are benefits to oil pulling that go far beyond that, particularly good for people who have candida. I have a lot of clients who have an overgrowth, a systemic yeast infection. So oil pulling is really indicated for them. It's really great for the immune system. It helps bring high cholesterol down. So there are many, many more benefits. And what I like about it is it alludes to something that is not, that is part of the bigger system of health. So let's talk a little bit about the history of oil pulling. Most of us, for example, cannot imagine a time where we would ever not clean our teeth. But we have to remember that cleaning our teeth is a fairly new procedure. We didn't even invent nylon bristles until the 1930s, so cleaning teeth with a toothbrush has been a fairly recent occurrence. So what did our ancestors do before cleaning our teeth? So we tend to think that our ancestors' teeth must have rotted, and we're told they did, and that's why we have to clean our teeth every day. Well, contrary to popular belief, archaeological evidence shows us that our ancestors' teeth were actually pretty good, and they lived to a ripe old age with their teeth intact. So they did one of three things. First off, our ancestors ate real food. They didn't eat a lot of processed, highly refined foods that have a lot of sugars in them. Sugars have a lot of phytic acid, and the sweet grains have a lot of phytic acid, which actually attacks tooth enamel. So because our ancestors didn't eat that, they had healthier teeth. They also used sticks to clean their teeth, rubbing sticks. So they would take those sticks and just rub against their teeth, and that would act as an astringent because these sticks were bitter. In India they used neem sticks and still do today. So neem or neem oil is very, very astringent. So again, tightens up those gums around the teeth. So our ancestors did really well in the fact that they used proper food, they used the astringent sticks, and depending on geographically where you were, they also oil pulled. So Ayurveda recognizes that even though oil pulling is fantastic, oil gargling is even better, because that way we get to massage the whole of the tongue. If you have a consult with me, you will recognize, and I will tell you, that we'll do a tongue analysis where different parts of the tongue are diagnostic of different organs of the body. So same as traditional Chinese medicine, we look at it the same way. So when we're massaging our whole tongue with the oil, then we're actually massaging those organs too. So let's talk about the different kinds of oils. I've got different ones in front of me. Coconut oil is what I'm going to experiment with today and show you today. And coconut oil is really good for cooling the body down. So if you have any kind of inflammatory response going on, any kind of inflammation, anything with itis on the end, colitis, sinusitis, bursitis, any of the itises, or if you are prone to heating headaches or rheumatoid arthritis, then coconut oil is for you. The other oil that's used a lot is sesame oil. Sesame oil is a slightly warming oil. It has antibacterial properties, so it's really good in that respect. And traditionally, sesame oil was the oil to use. Lately, we've changed it to coconut oil. I don't think it makes any difference. They are both good in their own different ways. If you have high vata or high kapha, sesame oil is for you. If you have high pitta, or it's summertime and you're feeling hot and a little sort of cranky or irritated, then coconut oil is the right one for you. So let's talk about how we're going to do this. Number one, we make sure we do this first thing in the morning before we have our cup of coffee, or before we have our warm water, which is what we're supposed to be having in the morning. Before we do anything else, except for perhaps pee in the morning, then we're going to oil pull. We're going to gently swish 1 or 2 tablespoonfuls of oil in our mouth for 10 to 20 minutes. Now, I'm not going to do it for 10 to 20 minutes in front of you and bore you silly, but we'll put a little bit of oil and I'll just show you how we're going to do it. We're going to swish all through the mouth, in through the teeth, really get it going, really move that mouth, but do it gently. You're going to do this for 10 to 20 minutes. So don't do it too vigorously, otherwise you'll get a sore jaw, sore tongue, or sore mouth. And then we're going to spit the oil out in the trash. Ask me how I know that. Yeah, I spat it down the sink one time. Coconut oil solidifies at room temperature. So there's a little work to be done in the plumbing. So do make sure you spit it out in a cup or a trash or anything that you can throw in the trash and reuse afterwards. And then finally, brush your teeth as normal. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do it with coconut oil. We're going to take just a little bit of coconut oil, enough to swish around, and then I'm just going to take it. So as I said, I am not going to do it for 20 minutes. So don't swallow it, it'll feel, it won't feel so great swallowing it, so just make sure that you keep it in the mouth. And I recommend doing this maybe 3 to 4 times a week. It doesn't have to be done every single day. You will see the benefits pretty quickly though. And as you can see, it's a very simple procedure to do. The other places that you can do it rather than just sitting for 20 minutes, which, you know, for those of you who are high pitta is not very productive time, you want to be doing something as well, then do it whilst you're taking a shower, do it whilst you're getting dressed, do it whilst you're doing your hair and makeup, do it whilst you're walking the dog. That's often when I do it too, when I take my dog for a walk in the morning. Or do it while you're driving to work in the car. So a very simple procedure. As always, please let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks for your time this morning.